President Putin today. Do you think the war in Iran ends first or the war in Ukraine?
Well, we talked more about the war in Ukraine, but he would like to be of help. I said, before you help me, I want to end your war. So we had a good talk. I've known him a long time. I think he was ready to make a deal a while ago. I think some people made it difficult for him to make a deal, but we talked more about Ukraine.
But which war do you think ends first?
That's an interesting question. You know, coming from you, that's very interesting. Which war would end first? I don't know. Maybe they're on a similar timetable. I think Ukraine, militarily, they're defeated.
Maybe they are on a similar timetable is my takeaway from what Trump said. You know, America is desperate and by any means willing to finish the war in Iran, especially with concluding the war with the enriched uranium being taken out of Iran. That is a major sticking point. So in which case, America will use every diplomacy to make sure that Iran comes to the terms and conditions that would necessitate this enriched uranium be taken out of America. There is no way America can claim victory in this war with Iran if America stops this war with the enriched uranium still being in Iran. So America will compromise at many levels just to make sure that the enriched uranium is taken out of Iran. So if Putin can help convince Iran in any way that this enriched uranium be taken out of Iran, even if Iran has to continue with its nuclear program, but the enriched uranium is taken out of Iran, then that gives Trump an off-ramp to get out of the mess that is in Iran now. So that will be a kind of a deal, which I think is an uphill task for Putin to be able to convince Iran to accept that. But if Putin is able to pull that off, Ukraine is cooked in the sense that America will completely withdraw intelligence information supply to Ukraine, might even refuse to supply weapons to European countries that transfer these weapons onto Ukraine. And that will probably be the point to strike the deal on.
Kiev's the one that wants to continue the war. Look at us, Russia. We're trying to cease fire. The actual, the factual record is that Putin has time and again actually rejected unconditional ceasefire proposals put forth by Kiev.
Russian media reporting Mr. Putin suggested a ceasefire on May 9 during the annual Victory Day celebrations. So that's for Ukraine. The leaders also discussed the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, in which Mr. Putin offered his assistance. However, President Trump said this morning he'd prefer Moscow focus on ending its own war first.
He told me he'd like to be involved with the enrichment if he can help us get it. I said, I'd much rather have you be involved with ending the war with Ukraine. I suggested a little bit of a ceasefire, and I think he might do that. He might announce something having to do with that. Did he announce it yet?
No, but I was wondering, I was just going to ask you.
No, I asked him about, even if it's a little ceasefire, there's so many people being killed, it's so ridiculous.